So we got tired of hearing about all of the Halloween events that have been canceled for this year, so we went out and found some that are still happening as planned. Hey guys, welcome back. On this channel, we talk about Halloween, Harry Potter, and theme parks. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
So with a lot of the haunts that we are all accustomed to, slowly starting to either make announcements that they are going to have the event or aren't going to have the event, we decided to look for some of the most popular events across the country that, as of right now, have decided that they are going to continue having the event. I think we were both feeling down seeing, haunts across the country, just slowly shutting down or making the decision that they weren't going to have events this year. So we decided to try to take a little bit of a positive approach. I think a lot of people, understandably, will not be comfortable enough to go to any type of haunt or event for Halloween this year. We just wanted to, do some research and see some options that do exist for the people who are comfortable enough to do so. We haven't really made up our minds quite yet. We've been going to haunted houses pretty religiously here for a while, and it would just be really devastating to not have any type of event this year. But circumstances are slightly different this year than they typically are this time of year. So we just compiled a list of, I think there's 6 events that I guess we've only been to one of them ever. But they were ranked in like the top 15 from the rankings that we saw. So we just wanted to compile a small list to just sort of inform people that, hey, these events are still going on. And from the descriptions of them and some of the pictures that we saw, all of them look pretty awesome. I think with one of these events, it's actually the first time they are holding the event. So that'll be fun to see as well.
The first event that we're going to talk about today is Asylum 49 in Tooele, Utah. So this event is hosted in a rundown hospital. Up until a couple years ago,
That's terrifying.
Yeah, up until a couple years ago, half of it was used as a nursing home facility.
Like, so people were still there?
Yes, and so half of it was like a haunted attraction, and half of it was a nursing home. The nursing home has since closed down.
I wonder why.
But some of the residents reported seeing apparitions of children, as well as I think there were 3 other like adult apparitions that they would see. One of them was a man that was dressed in like a hospital gown.
Okay.
Yeah, so this place is rumored to be haunted. There's a ghost show on the Travel Channel that has done an episode over this place. So it's legitimately haunted.
Is this the attraction where they will actually, you get to sound like a waiver and they will actually grab people from the audience or the people going through and put them into hospital beds, like strap them down?
Yeah, so the website, I didn't see anything about signing a waiver. I would assume that you probably have to. But yes, they will like abduct people from groups and strap you to a hospital bed here. So this is not for the faint of heart.
So I've always thought that sounded like, I've always thought having an implant in the group and somebody, like going through the house and then somebody being abducted from your group when you think they're just another patron going through the house. I always thought that would be a cool addition. But the fact that you can just yourself be abducted in this place, that one's intense. I would be all for it. I know my brother would be all for it.
Yeah.
You're out?
Yeah, that terrifies me.
Because you don't like people.
I don't want to be touched.
Yeah. The next event that is going to apparently still happen is Netherworld, and that is in Atlanta, Georgia. So we have heard and looked into Netherworld several times. We have unfortunately never been. We've made plans 2 or 3 times to go.
Yeah.
And it's just like things happen. And it's actually, I think sometimes the waits get outrageously long. Like we've heard people that have waited, 3-4 hours to go through it. But I think once you get inside the attraction, it it's relatively long. Like you're in there for a while. One of the biggest pulls for Netherworld is they have millions and millions of dollars of animatronics. Like apparently it is very like overwhelming and it's immersive. Like apparently they are. I've seen pictures, but I've not really watched a walkthrough because I kind of want to be surprised. Even though I think they do something new every year. But I have never heard anything bad about Netherworld.
Yeah, Netherworld seems like a really awesome event. I love events that are heavy on animatronics.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. They've even filmed parts of movies like Zombieland in there. So,
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know it's going to be awesome.
And I think it's been going for a long time. Like it's probably coming up on 30 years or something that it's been running. So anytime there is a haunt that has been going on for 30 years, it's kind of sad to think about 30 years. But any time an event's been going on for that long, it is successful and that it's ran correctly.
It's going to be a quality event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think Netherworld is definitely, it's obviously a well-known attraction that a lot of people love. We have definitely wanted to go for quite a few years.
I think in 2017 it was ranked the #1 haunted house in the country, wasn't it?
It was.
So I would love, maybe this is the year we get to it, if they have good measures being taken and everything. I think we would feel comfortable going. If we're able to socially distance from other people and as long as they have a good mask enforcement, I think I would be interested since Halloween Horror Nights isn't happening this year. I think going to Atlanta would be a fun time. I don't know. I wonder when it starts. We'll have to look that up. We'll look that up after the video because I'd like to know when the event's running because part of the reason that we haven't gotten to go is just because we always kind of run into a timing issue. We've got other haunts that we always go to or a party that we're throwing. So maybe this is the year that we get down there.
The next attraction that is still planning on taking place this year is Nashville Nightmare.
That's exciting because we always go to Nashville Nightmare. That's one of those ones that we frequent. My brothers and I started going. It's been a long time. I mean, I don't know if it was called Nashville Nightmare, but I know it's in the same area as Nashville Nightmare was. I can't remember. We've been going for a long time. Probably 10, 12 years ago was the first time that I ever went there. But they put on, the event's gotten better every year. There's good photo opportunities. Yeah. And you're there for a long time. It's sort of, if you've never been to the event, it's 5 haunted houses, but you go through one, and then when you come out,
you're in line for the next one.
You're in line for the next one, and it just sort of keeps going like that. It's a great event. We have always loved it.
I agree. When Tyler and I first got together, I wasn't a huge fan of haunted houses because I didn't like being scared. I didn't like, people putting their hands on me. And Nashville Nightmare was my first experience with a haunted house that I was like, hey, I like this.
They always do a good job of making you feel safe too, because there's security when you're going in, and I think that was a big thing for you. She just doesn't like to feel like you're somewhere
secluded.
She doesn't want to feel like just anybody could be showing up to the house or wherever you're at.
Right.
This thing's fenced off. You have to go through security. And so that makes me feel like they will, because they do such a good job with security most of the time. It makes me feel like they'll probably do a fairly good job of enforcing mask precautions and all that.
Well, so they already have some information up on their website about that. So they are going to require masks to be worn, and they also have pictures that make it look like they're going to have social distancing markers to keep people away from each other in lines and stuff like that. The next attraction that we're going to talk about that is, as of right now, taking place this year is the Dent Schoolhouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Dent Schoolhouse has a pretty interesting backstory. So basically, the theme of this house is set in an old, like 1940s, 1950s schoolhouse. And the story says that basically in this old town back in the late 1940s, these school-aged children started to go missing. And so people didn't know what was happening to all these school-aged children. And about a decade goes by and this event is still happening. And so finally the people of this town storm the schoolhouse and find, these bodies of these children in the basement. And it was the janitor of the school that was committing these murders. So that's kind of like the backstory.
Oh, okay. So this isn't an event that has happened in history. Okay, I was sitting here like,
no, this is like the
this
folklore.
is like dark and they're just gonna put a haunted attraction in an area like this.
No, so this is folklore. This story was created kind of to back up this house and to give you like an immersive experience.
So we've been to some houses where they give you this like good backstory, which for people familiar with Halloween Horror Nights, they always have like a good backstory on all the houses, and they've done a good job with the lore. But it's always so much more immersive when you have a story either real or, it can be a lot more immersive with a made up story like that because they can just play the themes and everything like that.
Right.
But whether the stories are real or fake, if there's like a you're not just put into a set and it's like, oh, here's something coming at you. Here's something, like, if they do a good job and set the house up, those are the best haunts. Like, those, hands down, are the ones that you leave and you want to come back to the next year. And
I totally agree, because it's almost like the people that are putting the haunt on, it's like they have gone so much into detail in creating this backstory that it's almost like they're making it a reality.
Yeah, they've got a vision and they are going to play it out in your heads. Yeah,
right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I completely agree. So in this house, obviously it's created like a really old antique schoolhouse.
And I don't know about you all, but children haunts, like
Yes.
little kids, that is why Graveyard Games last year was so
scary.
good and
Yeah.
like scary for me. Like little kids dressed up or like scaring you. It's always been terrifying.
Yeah, so they have characters such as the janitor that supposedly committed all these murders running around, and they also have terrorized kids that run around. So it's part of the creepy kid
Blood curdling screams.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like our kind of event.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely one for us to put on the list
Absolutely.
to be done.
Before we go to the last one on the list, like the one that hasn't happened before, this is like the first annual, we thought it would be a good idea. Some people call this a cop-out, but we think you should go to your local haunts if you're comfortable doing so. With everything that's gone on, local businesses are hurting, so some of these smaller local establishments that put on haunts every year, if they are still capable of doing so, they're going to need our support, and people who enjoy Halloween and enjoy, the haunts and everything, they're going to need the support of everyone. So we just wanted to throw that in there, that I think it's a great idea that if you are comfortable and they are doing a good job with social distancing and, making sure everyone wears their mask, and the event can be run safely, I think everyone should really check out their local events and support your community. I mean, it's just natural to be like that. I know we have one here. It's like 10 minutes down the road. Is it great? No. Like, it's not, but we go almost every year because it's for, I don't think they'll probably have it this year, just thinking about it. Because they pack everybody on it's like a hayride. But all that money goes to the fire department in the small town that it's in. And so it's just it's been going on since I was a little kid. I remember going when I was a child to the same thing. And it's set up almost the exact same every year. But it's a lot of fun. It's almost like one of our little traditions. And like, I'm actually kind of sad that I don't think it'll happen. I don't see how, because it's normally it normally stays really busy.
It does, but I mean, I feel like they definitely could implement social distancing, just say like, all right, groups, sit together and and
I
then
guess you are
space out
outside.
the groups. Yeah, I mean, it's outside, it's open air, and
Yeah.
then maybe like not do like the middle hay bale on the
Okay.
tractor, so people aren't like
The wait would be
facing
so
each-
long.
Well, maybe they need to get more trucks
Yeah.
and tractors doing the hay rides.
Yeah, I think it all runs on volunteers, this one
Mm-hmm.
that we're talking about. But yeah, we just wanted to sort of throw it out there. If you can, and you feel safe doing so, please support your local haunts.
Okay, so the last event that we have to talk about is a really special event that has been created with social distancing in mind.
Yeah, so I think everyone can do this one and feel safe as you can at a haunt doing it.
I agree. So this event is going to be held in Orlando, Florida. It doesn't have a name yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I've seen people call it different things, but
Right. So basically, this company is creating a drive-through haunted house experience.
that sounds really cool. Isn't it supposed to be like a movie, like you could drive through a movie screen or something? Is that what I read?
Well, that's sort of how they talk about it.
Okay.
I think the latest information is that it's going to be based on Rapunzel, but like a horror twist on the Rapunzel story.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, what I love when people take original ideas and try to do something with them.
Right.
That seems interesting. But this event will be going on when we take our trip in September. Mm-hmm. So this is when we're going to hit up. When they started announcing it, we started sort of seeing things about it. Because the trip was originally planned with Halloween Horror Nights in mind. So why not take a night? The parks are closing relatively early right now anyways.
Right.
Why not take a night? Drive over to wherever. I'm not really sure the exact location. I just saw
Not
that it
sure
was
either.
in Orlando.
Right.
And go through it. I'm sure the waits will be huge.
Probably.
Yeah, with all the because this is one that everyone can go to and feel pretty safe doing it.
Right.
I think.
It's really cool the way they've designed it. So it's going to be completely contactless. You pay ahead of time online.
Oh, okay.
And you
Yeah.
register
It's a good idea.
you register the license plate number of your vehicle.
Ah,
So when you pull up, they, I guess they'll have some kind of database or maybe people checking.
Okay.
And they'll, check your license plate number and then you'll get to go through. You do have to pay per person and not per car.
okay. That makes sense.
I agree. But then they have also said that on select weekends during the daytime, they're going to run a family-friendly version of this.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. I know a lot of people, we've seen a lot of talk about it on Twitter and everything. So I think that one could be fun.
I agree.
So like we said, we just wanted to sort of take a different approach to it. I think we had started feeling pretty down looking at just event after event, having to put off or postpone this year, or not having an event at all this year. We still have a chance to
Have a fun Halloween.
have a fun Halloween. It's depressing because this Halloween was supposed to be a full moon, and it's on a Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, the 31st of October is a full moon. It's on a Saturday. This was supposed to be the Halloween, and it still can be.
Can come in 2020.
Yeah, we can make it work. So I guess with that, we will conclude today's video.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. You can you can hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell notification so that you get an alert every time we post a new video.
Thanks for watching.